Hello everyone, and in our last video we created a navigation mesh with some obstacles and a nav mesh agent that patrols around this mesh, and when it sees our player it runs up to it and attacks him. In this video we're going to take a look at off mesh links, which allow us to link together two navigation meshes. As you can see here in this example, we have this navigation mesh and it's got this space here, and that's as far as the nav mesh agent can travel, to be able to follow our player in this particular example. What the off mesh links will allow us to be able to do is have the nav mesh agent move to other areas, as if it was moving to another portion of a level or down or up a particular area. These off mesh links can generate areas for the nav mesh agent to be able to move between. So for this example, I'm going to take our plane that we've been using as a navigation mesh here and duplicate it. And then after we duplicate it, I'm just going to move it so it's below the other plane so we can see them side by side. And I'm going to move the duplicated plane in the opposite direction of our player. So my player's at this end, and I'm going to move it here and then scale it down because I want it to be a little bit smaller. And I'm going to move it closer to the original mesh here. Now for this to work, they need to be perfectly aligned with one another. So they're both at 0. Okay, so the top layer of the navigation mesh needs to be aligned. And there's a couple other things to consider. I also would make sure that they are set to navigation static, and also off mesh link generation would be turned on. If I go to the navigation mesh tab, you can also turn those layer features on here underneath the object, where you can check off navigation static and generate off mesh links. So now if I select both of those planes and go back to the bake tab, when I hit the bake button, you'll see that the area where there was a gap between the two meshes now has a bunch of these arrows with these circles. These circles are where the nav mesh agent can walk up to and where they can move and then land when they arrive at this area. So what I should be able to do now is, if I hit the play button and I'll run past my enemy here and jump onto this second mesh, we should see that he doesn't jump, but he moves across to the linked mesh. Pretty cool, right? And if I jump back, he will follow me back. Now the only problem with these basic off mesh links is that they're really only good for meshes that are kind of connected together somewhat, either with a drop distance or drop height. As you can see here, there's a jump distance and also a drop height that's available. That allows you to set up different areas and have them move between them. But it's very difficult to control these. And in the next example, what we're going to take a look at is something called nav mesh components. And nav mesh components allow you to put in these components on game objects, and it will give the nav mesh agent a way of being able to, like, jump up stairs or jump up different steps, jump down. We can also even limit them so that they don't have a two-way direction but a one-way direction to be able to move between. So we'll take a look at that in the next video.